Welcome to Vinyl Community Vinyl Tag number Vinyl Tag 2019. Here it is, first video of the year, and it's Vinyl Tag. Yes, this video you're going to learn more about my collection. These questions were put together and sent out to hundreds of people, and if you didn't get one, feel free to follow along, write them down, and be a part of this, because you're it. That's right, you're it. All right, so we're going to go through. I wrote these all down in my trusty book, and my handwriting is really bad, so when I look at it I go, what is that question? So hopefully we'll make this through, but it's going to be hopefully interesting, because I'll kind of go through, you know, some more of the stuff that I have, or my kind of thoughts about music and where I'm heading with it. And since it's not an early morning show, I can have a beer, and we got an Estrella Jalisco. It's Mexican. It's from a warm place, because right now in Michigan the temperature is dropping towards zero. It's just pretty gosh darn cold, and I am not enjoying it whatsoever. So cheers to all those in warm climates. Grandma's handbake. Dean, down there having summer. You and Ross, Uncle Rodis, cheers. All right, let's begin. The very first question was, what was your best find in 2018? And I had a lot of really good ones, and on my last video I talked a little bit about that, you know, the feed and fleece and that. But this was my best. It's not vinyl, but it's a CD box set, and this is the Miles Davis On the Corner box set. And I had been looking for this. This is one of the few of the Miles Davis reissue box sets where they put out there's 6 to 8 CDs that they put out in these, and I did not get this one, and it was going for big bucks. And I had asked Dylan from Noble Records. I was down in North Carolina, and I said, you know, where's a good place to go in Ashland, North Carolina? And he told me where to go, and I went there. And I had all these purchases that I was ready to buy, and I go up to check out, and behind the counter I saw it. You know, my wife looks, sees the price. Well, you're not buying this and that, are you? That was the question. I know if I would have said, well, yeah, because I'd just taken on a wonderful vacation, I probably could have got away with it, but that was too much. I says, nope, I'm going to put this back, because this is what I want. This really completed my Miles Davis CD box sets that they reissued back in the odds. So super excited about that. By far my best for 2018. All right, the next question was shout outs in the VC. And I try to do those periodically, because a lot of people have done shout outs on my channel. And you know what, it means a lot, and I really do appreciate it. How I looked at this is I went back and I looked at people whose channels I watch, and I watch tons of channels. I'm in a hotel room all week. What else am I going to do? TV's boring. So I looked at people that have under 200 subscribers. So, I mean, a lot of the ones I watch are over 200, you know. I mean, some of you guys, you know, Vinyl Verse, Bill, Jeff Kempen, you know, Tim, DJ High Noon, Andrew, Dean, all you guys, I never miss an episode. But these are guys that, a lot of them have under 100, but they really have good content. So I wrote them down so I don't forget. And I have Smokestack Records. What a great channel. He just got a 13th floor elevator original. Unbelievable. Black Beans and Rice. I've talked about his channel a number of different times. Absolutely love it. He does some great blues. You know, it takes just a blues guy and talk about him. Really good stuff. Hackman 377. I've talked about him a lot. Chad's Music Stuff. He just got going. You know, only has like 36 subscribers. Really good. Michael P. Dawson, I've talked about him a number of times, but he is moving. He's almost getting toward 200, and I thank everyone for that. Sounds Strange, that's Rob over in Spain, from Ireland, in Spain. I got to find out why, and he's moving up. Mowing Rocks, Jacob of Mowing Rocks, he got over 200 finally. All right, I'm just going to say it, Jacob, because you've been really influenced on a lot of the stuff I've been buying. Bad English Rex, still just over 100 from Finland. Just cracks me up. Funniest guy out there. Jamie Connell, he's getting more and more, so I appreciate that. Uncle Rodis out of New Zealand. You want to learn something about New Zealand? Talk to Uncle Rodis, and for God's sake, here's the cat back. Okay, so that's some of the shout outs. There's more, but these guys are trying to build them up, you know, where a lot of us had been, and I've been enjoying their channels. Okay, next question, what holes are you trying to fill? Wow, man, that I had to think about that one. You know, this last year I took care of Van Morrison. I filled that thing up, and I was really happy to do that. So I was thinking about this. You know, Miles Davis, I'm always looking for more Miles Davis in vinyl. You know, CD, I think I have pretty much all his stuff between the box sets and everything in CD, so now it's just in the vinyl. Head down The Clash. I'm missing London Calling. I need to get London Calling. Catherine Wheel. I just got into Catherine Wheel. Would you quit headbutting me, man? And so Wilson Pickett. I would love to pick up more Wilson Pickett and Otis Redding. I have a little bit. I need a lot more. And Max Richter. Max Richter, he's more the new classical, and totally enjoy his work. And we'll show some of that a little bit later. So I think those are some of the guys whose holes I would like to fill up. Boy, that don't sound right whatsoever. Oh well, no editing there. Okay, next one. A cheap album that's really good. All right, cheap album, really good. I have two of them here. Same guy. Dave Brubeck. You can find Dave Brubeck jazz albums out there for almost nothing. Value Vinyl, Steve, you can probably find this stuff for $2 out there. I think these maybe 3, maybe 4, and both of these were phenomenal albums. I really like them. Great stuff on there. Wonderful jazz. You know, Dave Brubeck just doesn't cost a lot, you know, because I guess he made a lot of albums. Both of these, Dave Brubeck Goes to College and Time Changes, I thought were outstanding. Truly enjoyed those. Our next question on here is favorite side projects. Okay, so people who did side projects. Had a couple of them I thought of. How about that side project, the Traveling Wilburys? I guess that would be a side project for, oh, I don't know, George Harrison, Roy Orbison, Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne, and Bob Dylan. It's their first album. Man, I picked that up when it came out many years ago. I really loved this album. It was so good. And, you know, I'll talk about voices that went together. Another big famous side project was when David Byrne teamed up with Brian Eno, and they did, you know, this one here, you know, My Life in the Bush of Ghosts, and it was a lot of rhythms from Africa and a variety of different things. This was another album that really made me think about music differently, made me get into some different stuff. Just, I think, really influential album, especially for me. So it was a neat side project David Byrne did during Talking Heads. Brian Eno, he was always doing stuff all over the place, but for Byrne, he stepped away from Talking Heads to do this. I really liked it. All right, the next one. This one was very difficult for me. It's the question was a song from an artist that was uncharacteristic in their particular catalog. Kind of stepped out with a song. I guess I went with an album, and I had a hard time. There's so much music, and it's like, man, a song, wow. So I thought of an album. So what we got, it's playing in the background right now. It's Beck, and this was Sea Changes. This was such a departure from anything he had been doing. He went folk, but it was melodic. It was beautiful. I was struck by this. I was dumbfounded by this. I loved Beck. I liked the stuff he was producing, and then he did this. And I go, this guy has a voice, and the music's beautiful. And then after that, he came out with this one, Morning Phase. Another melodic folk type album, but it's just with the strings and everything. It works so well together. And so both of these were huge. It was a huge change of direction. It wasn't like anything that was in his catalog. Now he's kind of changed again in his last one he put out. Kind of had more of an 80s feel, I thought. More 80s pop type thing. I really enjoyed it. Next question was the last album that you purchased? Wow. Well, you know, I tend to have an issue there, which we're going to work on in 2019. I'm going to show you 4 quick ones. I'm not going to blab about them, okay, because I haven't even showed them on my video bit. These were some of my very last purchases. And we had this one there, Can't You Hear Me, African Nuggets. 70 psychedelic African nuggets, not just Zamrock. It's from a variety of different countries on there. Pretty awesome. Had this one come up. I bought these in Omaha when I was there for Christmas. Zamrock, and this is a compilation of Zamrock. Pretty fascinating stuff. Again, comes with a book. I just picked this up. I walked into my record store yesterday, no, on Sunday, and he's looking for an album to play, you know, because it's, you know, New Year's is coming up, so he wanted to theme it, so he goes, hey, this one says Party Weekend, I'll put it on. I wound up buying it. Joe King Carusco. I never heard of the dude before, but it absolutely, I was just laughing. I just thought, God, this thing's great. We'll talk about that later. So I bought that, and another one I just picked up when I was there, and it was the 13th Floor Elevators reissue, because I kind of figured I'm never going to find that in original. If I do, we'll see how much it is, if I can really afford it. So there we go. There's a bunch more just picked up. Alrighty then, here we go. A great album with a bad cover. A great album with a bad cover. I'm going to show 2. This is a jazz one, Jackie McLean. And people have talked about the Blue Note Classic. Sounds Strange, Rob was talking about this, and I know some others have too. It's like, okay, so of all the album covers that you could have to make something look exciting, because an album cover is your advertising. It brings you and it draws you in, and this does not do it. If I didn't know about, you know, the Blue Note Classics, I just blow through this stuff. I just say, what? God, it doesn't appeal, it doesn't jump at me, because I am a visual person. I like to see it visually. But it's a great album from Jackie McLean. And another one I talked about this year, I bought it this year finally, Foreigner Head Games. I love the music on it, I love the album, but I found this very disturbing. It bothered me when it came out. I did not like that artwork on there, and I you know, I don't know. To me, I found it kind of offensive almost, about, you know, with this woman there and what's happening, and maybe it's the nice guy in me, I don't know. I finally bought it this year. I mean, I love the music. I got over it. It still bothers me, but I'm okay. All right, the next one was great artwork, but a crappy album. I bought this one this year too. And it is The Serpent is Rising from Styx. Now, not everyone might agree with me on that. If you're a big Styx fan, I didn't like the music in this thing. It caught me by surprise. I was expecting my usual Styx kind of stuff, and suddenly this comes along. I didn't really get it, and I didn't like it, and they were just going way too prog. But the album cover, this is like a Where's Waldo. I mean, there's so many different things happening in this album, in that picture. You could just sit there and look and pick out all the different little things. So I found that interesting, and I still like looking at that. I think it's a great album cover. You know, it's just, look at this, look at that. Those little finding things, so that part's fun. Great blues albums. All right, that was the next one. Show a blues album. And I got two because they're from the same thing. And it's Chicago Blues, and this is volume 1 and 3. Obviously, 2 is missing as of yet, and I'll be looking for 2. I show these because these were the albums that got me into blues many years ago in the early 80s when I was living in Chicago, and I went to the library, and the library had these. So I bought them so I could tape them, and I could listen to them. So I didn't buy them. I borrowed them from the library, checked them out. And then I had it on tape for many years, and I finally have found them in vinyl. This introduced me to blues. And so to this day, it's still one of my all-time favorites. All right. Oh, Earworm Song. Oh my God. Oh, I hate those Earworm songs. But I have it. We're using La La Land. Love this soundtrack. I really do. And the very first song on here is Another Day of Sun. Great song. It's catchy. It's fun. It makes you want to just get up and dance around, but it won't get out of my head. The instrumentation is excellent. The singing, the chorus, fantastic. And at 2 in the night, it's still going. Another day in the sun. I mean, my brain won't shut it down. I thought about listening to this even last night as I picked this out. And I says, no, I cannot go to bed after listening to this because it will be in my brain and bouncing there all night long, and I won't get any sleep. So I love the song, a favorite song, but it won't leave my freaking brain. So it's an issue. All right. Okay, next we come to, here we go. All right, a historically important artist. Had to think about this one. Boy, there's so many. But the one I chose is Miles Davis. He's changed jazz not once, not twice, 3 times, maybe 4 times. He was an innovator. He kept changing how jazz was listened to, where it was going, from the bebop to the fusion. I mean, he blows me away. And, you know, I got into jazz late, but this was my introduction to jazz, and it is, I've told this many times, my favorite album in the whole wide world. This is it. Kind of blue, but I like all Miles Davis, but he was historically important. This, to me, is a phenomenal album, and he really changed. An album that from your parents, okay? So the question was an album you own because of your parents, all right? I have some Glenn Miller, my mother, Glenn Miller. She loved Glenn Miller, and she loved Buddy Rich. But this is the one I have. This is actually my dad's. Bach's Brandenburg Concerto. They gave me a real appreciation for classical. I didn't appreciate it necessarily at the time, but I learned to appreciate it. The Brandenburg Concertos is such a favorite. I can sit, relax, and listen to that. I never get tired of the Brandenburg Concertos, or any Bach for that matter. I really love Bach. But most all the classics I enjoy, and I don't buy enough of it just because you go to the record store. There's other stuff that you want to get, and I feel bad for that, and I need to work on filling out my classical collection a little bit better. So Brandenburg Concertos for my father, and I really appreciate that. God rest his soul. Got me into some great stuff when it comes to that. All right. Dollar bin find. Give a really good, a dollar bin find that was really good. 33 cents for this. I don't shop, you know, when I was younger, I shopped the dollar bins a lot because I had a limited amount of money. I couldn't buy a lot, but I wanted records. I wanted to have a lot of records. And so I would shop dollar bins. They're probably, I don't know, maybe they were $1 way back in the 80s. Maybe I paid 50 cents for them. I don't know. So now I don't necessarily look at them as much because I don't have a lot of time generally. You know, I might be on a lunch or they're going to be closing. So I'm hitting the racks where I can find the really important stuff I want. But my record store had a thing going on, $3 for $1. So I bought some stuff. And I didn't own this one. I paid 33 cents for it. And it was Simply Red's picture book. I knew of it when it came out. I didn't like it. I didn't like it, but I didn't like the reggae sound or anything like that. So I picked it up for 33 cents and loved it. Just thought it was just great and kind of kicked myself in the ass for saying, what's wrong with me? Why didn't I buy this sooner? Really nice album. All right, the next one was your favorite 2 LP set. Okay, excuse me. Favorite 2 LP set. Let's go back to Miles. Bitches Brew. And when I was thinking about this, because I have a lot of 2 LP sets, and it finally came down to what 2 LP set will I play again and again? What's in my iPod, the full? What do I have a whole box set of? And it's Bitches Brew. And this is original master recordings here. Like I said, Miles Davis changed the face of music. This changed jazz. Again, it was a monumental album that completely changed the landscape out there. And I never tire of Bitches Brew. It's just one of those albums that I'm addicted to. So, favorite 2 LP set. Some albums. Next one was show some albums that you bought because of the VC. I have a lot of albums that I have bought this year. I've been in the VC since March. And I have purchased quite a few, and I got a list. In this book, besides video ideas and stuff, I have a list from you, of things you recommend, things you say, hey, try this, look at this. I can't buy everything at once, but it's in there to help me. And of course, Amazon. But these were 2, and I just showed these also, but I just, on my Sunday, on my recap video for 2018. But I'm going to show them again because they were important. And I got this from Black Beans and Rice. He recommended this. Orchestra Anacan. It's the Cuban music. It was incredible. It was beautiful. Again, it's been played many times already. And from Tales from the Crate from Andrew, The Endless Boogie. It's just one of those that just blew me away. Again, it gets played an awful lot, and I have a lot of music that, you know, I buy, and you know, so for me to go back and keep playing certain things over and over, it means it's pretty darn good. There it is. Favorite 10-inch record was that, or show a 10-inch record. Doesn't have to be a favorite, but I did. I'm going to show you a favorite 10-inch record. It's actually there's like 3 of them in here. Black Market Clash. Those are 10-inch records. Great LP, important LP. Gotta love the Clash, so 10-inch records. Next one, show a favorite 7-inch records. It is basically a 7-inch. I was thinking 45. This was I Love You, Honeybee, and I'll Never Be a Woman from Father John Misty. This was a record store day purchase a while back. Man, this thing goes, I don't know, somehow, I guess, must have been really limited because people really want to buy this thing. I just bought it because I thought, hey, isn't that cool? It's in the shape of a heart. When my wife gets mad at me, I just go, I bought this for you because you have my heart. And thus, I get out of trouble. 7-inch. An album, next question, an album that you would that you could fall to sleep to. All right. I can fall asleep to anything. Anything I can fall asleep to, but this one was specific. Sleep. Yep, Max Richter. This was made, it's performed with the whole purpose for you to fall asleep. That's its sole purpose. You're supposed to fall asleep. The performance lasts for 8 hours. This is the shortened version, only a couple hours. And they would they'd lay mattresses out in the auditorium for people to lay down. They'd have blankets and pillows, and for 8 hours they would play and people would sleep. That's what it did. this is peaceful. This is relaxing, but it's beautiful music. I really like this. And so Richter is a guy that I'm looking to buy a lot more of, because I have a lot of it digitally downloaded. Yes, I do that at times, just certain songs, and I need to get into him and find his stuff and buy more of it, because I think this guy's an extremely important new classical artist. About done here, folks. Favorite VC experience or advice for people that are contemplating making videos? All right, so we're going to answer both of those. Favorite VC experience was when I had my 200 subs contest, and the amount of people that entered, but the contest was about you telling me your musical story. That meant a lot. It was so interesting to listen to your adventures in music, what brought you in, why you have this love of music. And I listened to your videos more than once, because it was great. I got to know you, and I really, there was a lot of people that entered, and I truly appreciate it. For those of you that haven't made a video and you're thinking about it, you know, you just got to take your camera, take your computer, and turn it on and go. But the big thing is, show your passion for your music. And there's a reason why you're watching this right now. There's a reason why you're watching this. There's a reason why you watch any of the stations, because you have an interest in music. Either that, or you really don't know what to do in life. And geez, don't do this. Don't watch me then. But show your passion. Take what you have. If it's a CD, if it's a tape, it doesn't matter. You bought it for a reason. You bought it because you love it. Let people know why you love it. If it sucks, let them know why it sucks. It doesn't matter. And don't worry what people think. It doesn't matter. It's your music. It's your thought. It's your channel. It's whatever you want to be. So if you haven't made a video and you're thinking about it, just do it. Have fun with it. Write me a note. Ask me anything you want about doing it. I love it. I mean, it's just the most fun that I have all week long, and I think about, man, what am I going to show in the video this week? So just do it, just like Nike says. All right, so there we have it. Final tag, 2019, and I thought blabbing, I guess I still went long. Wow, man, I can't do that. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I appreciate everybody again, as always, watching this. It's a lot of fun. This community comes up with stuff like this, which really makes it fun, these different tags, because it's great to listen to what other people's thoughts are. So Happy New Year. Here's to a great 2019 of enjoying music, of finding something, getting your grail in 2019, learning about new music, just trying something different. Enjoyed. And from Kat and myself, Happy New Year, everyone.